Hi, class. I just want to talk with you real quickly about our ethnography project that we are working on in this class. And so in this video, I just have a really quick PowerPoint presentation to walk you through some of the bare bones of what you'll be doing for this project. All right, so the Ethnographic Research Project for Language and Culture is the single project that we're working on this semester with various different parts. And ethnography, in short, is the study of the behaviors and language use of a particular discourse community. Now, ethnographies don't always study discourse communities, but for the sake of this class, that's what we're studying. So what you'll be doing is studying the behaviors and language use of a particular discourse community. All right, oops. So as a reminder, a discourse community is a group of people who work toward a common goal through communication. This group develops a process for communication, a unique vocabulary of jargon, and a power structure tied to the source of their community. And so the image that I have here is an image of a soccer player. This was actually one of my daughters in high school. And so if I was to think about her community of women or female soccer players, I want to think about, how do they communicate, especially when you are on a team. There's verbal communication, but then there are other ways that you communicate. What jargon do they use that maybe other sports don't use? And then what power structures are tied to this community? And so I would say, even depending, for example, on the role you play, say, for example, if it's a sport, she played back defender. And so in the scheme of things, why is that significant? And so, power structure doesn't necessarily have to be hierarchy, although it can be, it's how you want to contextualize it and how you want to kind of think about it as you are studying your discourse community. All right, so a couple of things about an ethnography. It's the art and science used to describe a group or culture. Ethnographers search for predictable patterns in the lived human experiences by carefully observing and participating in the lives of those under the study. So let's say, for example, I was going to study the Cedar Creek women's soccer team. I might go to a game if they're still in season. I might see if the coach will do an interview with me, maybe coach or maybe interview a player. If I am a part of this discourse community, that makes it, even easier for me. So maybe during a practice, I could maybe ask the coach if I could maybe take 20 minutes of 3 different practices to just kind of observe and take pictures for a project I'm doing for school, for example. Ethnography is conducted on site or in a natural setting in which real people live or engage in the selected discourse. And so the goal of doing the observations, of course, to get pictures, to just kind of see this community in their natural setting. And as you're observing, you want to look for patterns in language and behavior, because even though for your project you'll be talking in general about the discourse community, what about it makes it unique? What makes it stand out? What kinds of patterns are you finding? And then an ethnography is personalized, since you as a researcher may be both an observer and a participant in the lives of the people being observed. Or you may only be a researcher, but you want to personalize it. All right, so there are going to be 3 forms of data collection: observation, interview, and then secondary research. Your secondary research is, the information you get from the library databases or wherever you may choose to get that information. And then stages for conducting your ethnography. Formulating the problem. So if I say that I'm interested in studying the Cedar Creek High School girls soccer team, why? Like, why is that significant? Well, maybe I realized that, 3 years ago, they were on a winning streak. But these last 2 years, something's happened and they're not winning anymore. I don't know. Or maybe I just am interested in better understanding the dynamics of the women's soccer team. But identify a why. Now select a research setting. And so I'm going to go to a game. That's easy enough to do. But I need to see if the soccer coach will set up an appointment with me. And then see if there's a player also who I can speak with. And then gaining access, presenting oneself. And so I need to determine, I'm obviously not on the team, so I am an outsider looking in. But then when I begin to write this up, how do I want to present myself? And then I want to gather and record my data. All right, and then I just provided some sample interview questions. You really, when you're formulating your interview questions, you want to think about what information do I want to learn. And I recommend going, if you can, get more than one interview, because I think or doing interviews after observation, because that will help you generate questions based on what you saw or learned and or had hoped to see or learn. So I hope that's useful for you. I don't want this video to get too long. If you have any questions, please let me know. Be sure to check out the assignment guidelines in the course. And I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.